Council pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session and a regular meeting on Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018, at 4:10 p.m. and at 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. We will begin with executive sessions. Executive Session A, attorney consultation pursuant to Section 551.071. Number 2, Texas Government Code to secure legal advice with respect to the City Commission's authority, powers, privileges, and obligations in connection with the appointment of a city manager under Article 5 of the City Charter. Executive Session B, consideration and appropriate action pursuant to Section 551.074 Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, and duties of a public officer, the city manager for the City of Brownsville, Texas, under Article 5 of the City Charter. Executive Session C, consideration and appropriate action pursuant to Section 551.074 Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, and duties of a public officer, the city manager for the City of Brownsville, Texas, under Article 5 of the City Charter. Executive Session D, discussion pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code, the deliberation, the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property.
Motion to move to executive session?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and convene back to the regular meeting. We're going to convene back to the regular meeting. And if everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for the many blessings we have here in the city of Brownsville. And Lord, help us to remember those blessings. And Lord, we ask you for the wisdom to change the things that we do need to change. And Lord, for the meeting here tonight, we ask that you give an atmosphere where we can discuss what we really think in love and respect for each other, for everybody that's involved. Lead and guide each of us for the best for the city of Brownsville. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Next, we will have action on executive item C, consideration and possibly action to hire a city attorney. The names are Ms. Liza H. Bowling, Mr. Rene E. DeCos, and Mr. Jerry Linan.
Mayor, I move to select Rene DeCos as our acting city attorney and direct our interim city manager, Michael Lopez, to proceed to negotiations for a contract.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all very much.
Next, we have the mayor's activity update.
An apology for us being so late. We had a lot of issues that we needed to visit about, and was a very good meeting, thanks to all the commissioners. But we're ready to move forward. Thank you.
Next, we have the commissioner's activity update.
I have one, Mayor. I just want to give everybody some really excellent news about our animal shelter and all of the efforts that we have poured into it. So I tell you this with tears in my eyes, that we have been very successful. If you look at the graph that's right now on the screen, you will see that we are up 10 more dogs, or 10%? No, 10 more dogs and cats than the last time, than August 2017. So you'll see that we are now charting our peak times during adoption. So this gives us a better idea of when our adoption specialists need to be staffed into our shelter. We're learning a lot from this data. As you can see, we've changed our hours. Now we're open on Sunday. So Sunday we had 8 adoptions alone. Monday we're strong, Tuesday slower, Wednesday's very strong, Thursday very strong, Friday, and of course Saturday the adoptions slow down. But if you remember, PetSmart and all of the other events are going on, so that plays a factor into the data that we collected. And on the second slide, I want to show you that we are up 48% in activity from this time last year in our animal shelter. So this is an extremely amazing accomplishment, and I want to just take a moment to thank all of the staff at BARC and our interim city manager, Michael Lopez. This would not have been possible without your direction and help. So I just want to keep reminding the public, please always adopt. These numbers are the hard work of our community members that are going to adopt. Our rescues that day in and day out come and give us your time, your money, and your energy, and everything you have to get these pups and kitties into good homes. And I just want to, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but since it's such a good occasion, the city of Brownsville is now working on an event. I can already see the eyebrows going up. We're working on an event. One of the most animals that get put down are the older dogs. People just don't, want them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So the city of Brownsville is working on a plan, thanks to Michael Lopez and Art Rodriguez, where we're gonna start having events where old dogs are gonna be, for a certain time, certain week, $1 out of the shelter to get them into homes. We do not want to destroy these animals. Just because you're older means that you're wiser, and there is nothing wrong with you. So we are going to be working our hardest, and we want to welcome the community into our shelter. Thank you for coming. Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for everything you do. And please stay tuned, because we have Dollar Pup Days coming very soon. I promise. You have my word. And just please always continue all of the efforts that the community has been pouring into the shelter, because this 48% is your hard work. And I am honored to be your city commissioner, and I'm honored to work with this commission to make changes like this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. City manager's update?
Mayor, I
I'm sorry, I'm
That's all
sorry,
right.
Rick.
Don't worry about it. Due to the recent rains, I want to urge and continue and ask people to help us spread the message. We've had 546 help for a good 6 years already, and people still don't know about 546 help. We continue to have the trash problems. We continue to have the clogged drains, and you're still welcome to send us emails. You're still welcome to send us messages through Messenger and Facebook and everything. But, for us to be able to get it for Santana as it is, I mean, my hat's off to you, man, with everything that you've got going on. You all have been working great. Even, folks, people want the rain gone in 5 minutes when it starts raining. It's not going to happen when you have a 20-minute swell above your home. It's going to take 20 to 30 minutes before that water even starts moving. So I understand, but, I've driven out to some of the areas, and people expect the water to just leave miraculously right away. I said, it doesn't work that way. It takes time for it to funnel out. It takes time for it to move. Some people understand. Unfortunately, some don't. But if you continue to spread the message and just let people know, a lot of us, I do it on Facebook all the time, 546 help, 546 help. Just call them. The girls set a work order. They send it to Public Works. They send it to Republic for our trash collection, everything. We can't do everything in one day, but it does get done. So please, if you can help us, just continue to spread the message, or have people call 546 help, and we can get it out there. That way we can get your drains clean, we can get the brush pickups that haven't been done, get them on time, but it takes a community effort, and that's what we've been trying to push all these years. That's why it was created. Not like, once again, not that we don't want to take the calls, we'll gladly take the calls, but we do have a mechanism in place that's able to afford to be able to do this. So thank you once again.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Commissioner.
Mayor, I
Appreciate it.
have one more update that Commissioner Longoria reminded me about. I want to thank PUB and the Brownsville Police Department. I have been working very closely with you to get some utility poles in. So if you see one going up in your neighborhood, it's not because we're adding lights. We are putting surveillance cameras to watch for illegal dumping. So if you live in a neighborhood, I have several in District 2, just know that we have made several arrests, and prosecution will be coming soon through the District Attorney's Office. We're going to be asking for his help. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who it was. Can I say who it was? No? Okay, I won't say who it was, but they were not from Brownsville. And the city of Brownsville is going to very actively and aggressively pursue filing charges and making sure that people pay for the mess they did. On another note, happy birthday to my son. Tomorrow morning is his birthday. and he's the love of my life. He's 12 years old, and the reason I sit here in this seat is to build a better community for him to live in. And so on that note, I love you, Andrew. Happy birthday.
Thank you. City managers update?
No.
Have I missed anybody? I'm sorry.
No update.
No? Is it-
I don't
okay.
have any more, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
No
Okay.
update, Mayor.
Go ahead, Mike.
No update, Mayor.
No update, okay. Presentations then.
Next, we have presentation. We have the Positive Community Impact Coalition. If you would please come up.
That's good.
Do we utilize this right here?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, how are you guys doing tonight? My name is Alexandra Ibarra, and I'm with the Positive Community Impact Coalition. Can we go ahead and, or I control this, correct? I work for Behavioral Health Solutions of South Texas. We're a nonprofit that services 19 different counties, and we really are eager to introduce ourselves to the city commissioners tonight, and I thank you for allowing us to be here. In case you guys are not already aware, the Positive Community Impact Coalition is a group umbrellaed under Behavioral Health Solutions, and we're specific to the Brownsville area. So I'm not sure, all of you guys aware what a coalition is? Yes, okay. So we provide our evidence-based education to both youth and adults, and we create awareness on the dangers of underage drinking and prescription drug misuse. And the real reason, of course, why we're here tonight is because we really want to promote our youth group and have the community aware of our efforts that are out there tonight. So in case you guys see some of the pictures up here, we are actively involved in the community, having right now our youth group comprised of about 25 students, all from within BISD. They're in the community doing peer-to-peer education. They're also building their social skills, which develops their responsibility and their ableness to be able to talk to people. Because as you can see right here, we have our vice chair, Armando Gonzalez, and I'm a little heartbroken that we started a little late because we had the kids here tonight, but they were hungry and they left right now. So he's giving a TV interview there, right there to Univision, and they were promoting one of our events. So we just want to make sure that they're actively involved in the community. And also, just letting you guys know, aside from the many presentations that we conduct, we also are about our environmental strategies. In case you guys are not aware, the Brownsville Police Department has put in 3 prescription drop boxes, and Commissioner Rose McGowan was there last year with us when we started this initiative, and we actually just placed our 4th drop box with Autry Pharmacy this past month, which continues to provide resources to the community on properly disposing of their medications, keeping the unwanted, unused drugs off the street, which, you know, as we know, becomes a hazard as we don't know who's coming in and out of our homes. And, you know, just so the community is aware why prevention is important. You know, it determines whether or not someone engages in substance use. If the number of risk factors increase, so does the likelihood of substance abuse. However, when a child is influenced with protective factors, there's a decreased likelihood of substance use. So that's the one thing that we strive for here, is providing that safe environment for our youth and having them educated and being able to provide that peer-to-peer education. So again, we just want to let the community know that we're here to set a positive example and get involved in our children's lives. And just so also the commissioners in the city of Brownsville are aware of our efforts, so that way when you hear our name, you know all the great things that these kids are doing and how hard they're working. And again, if you guys have the time, we invite you guys to come to our next coalition meeting. It's on, actually that one just passed because we were supposed to present last month. It's the last Tuesday of every month. Actually, Damaris is here tonight from the Brownsville Parks and Recreation. She supports our group by allowing us to have our meetings at the Brownsville Parks and Recreation on 1338 East 8th Street right here in downtown. So I'm not sure if you guys have any questions tonight about our group, but I brought you guys some information just so you guys are aware of the many things that we have going on.
Why don't you pass that out to us, and thank you so much for all you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have enough?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a
Appreciate
great
it.
night.
You too.
Next, we have consent agenda items A through R.
Move to approve.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have a public comment period. We do have one public comment. Mr. Roy de los Santos, would you please come up?
I prepared my comments to make sure I stay under the 3 minutes for you guys.
Thank you, Roy.
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm here tonight as the Chair of the Building and Standards Commission, one of the quasi-judicial boards of the City of Brownsville. One of our chief responsibilities is dealing with dilapidated structures and unsafe conditions. At our last meeting, we were told there were several properties which needed to be considered by the board, and funding was finally available from the city to be able to take action on them. That was almost 18 months ago. Today, we have 4 vacant positions, 2 regular and 2 alternates. There's been 1 applicant and 3 individuals nominated in accordance with city ordinance, and the commission has chosen to table the item. Not because they weren't qualified, but because we want to see if we can get a bigger pool of applicants. I understand the logic, and I commend you for wanting to cast a wider net for advisory boards. But this concerns me greatly when it comes to quasi-judicial boards. As we wait, these unsafe conditions are allowed to continue in our community. Outside of the City Commission, the Board of Adjustment, the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the Heritage Council each shall nominate one of its members to serve on the Building and Standards Commission. That's from City Ordinance, Section 18-237. It concerns me that this commission may gut this provision under agenda item number 9 this evening. The commission should not be able to alter or negate a provision of city ordinance with the mere
Please do not
amending.
refer to agenda item number 9.
We can take that out of my comments then. Taking that out, though, the city commission should not be able to alter or negate a provision of city ordinance with the mere amending of a policy, as the standards for adopting a
Please do not
policy.
refer to our city ordinance because that's going to be talked about tonight.
I'm not speaking about that one. That's not
Oh.
city ordinance, that's policy. I'm speaking about ordinance.
Oh.
I hope that doesn't count against my time. The commission should not be able to alter or negate a provision of city ordinance with the mere amending of policy, as the standards for adopting policy are less stringent than those required to adopt or amend an ordinance. Most importantly, citizens have the right to speak at a public hearing when it comes to an ordinance, and that right isn't being afforded here. There are absolutely steps you can take which would insulate these boards, and ultimately the appointment will still belong to the commission, but at least it will appear that we're considering the candidates and nominees based on qualifications, not based on how many boards are serving on. When you consider that these boards are the final word for the city of Brownsville, and that their decisions cannot be reviewed or overturned by the commission, that relief for anyone who feels aggrieved by one of these decisions can only come from a court of law, and that the individuals you appoint are tasked with understanding and applying the law as it applies to property and property rights of citizens and property owners, your chief concern as our elected officials should be that the candidates you are considering and appointing are the very best qualified, and not just what's left to choose from after eliminating individuals based on the fact that they already serve their community. Thank you
very much, Roy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Timing.
We will now move into items for individual consideration. We will go ahead and remove agenda item number 7 and 8 and go on to number 9. Action item number 9, consideration and possible action to amend the City of Brownsville policy on board and commission member appointment and eligibility, Section 5, term of office, attendance, and multiple service, subsequent letter F, multiple service, to provide that board and commission members shall not serve concurrently on more than one board or commission, to become effective immediately.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to oppose
Okay.
that one.
Motion carries. Item number 10.
Could I ask a question for
Sure.
clarification? On the policy in several locations, they refer to boards and committees. And then on the section 5D, that starts referring to board or commission. And then the amended provision for multiple services under 5F, I'm confused about what board and commission means. So does that word commission include this commission? Because it refers in the rest of the policy as boards and committees. And what just got passed was board or commission. So for example, am I allowed to be on the BCIC and the other, the commission?
Commissioner Neese, I believe the policy, the title of the entire policy is City of Brownsville Policy on Board and Commission Member Appointment. that is where the language came from, and that was, this amendment is consistent with the entire, with the title of the document.
Like I'm mentioning, it always refers to board or committee, and when you get down to D, E, and F, it says board or commission. So the question is, does that include this commission?
No, I
That's your
think
interpretation?
that's not my interpretation. That's nowhere is it referred to the City of Brownsville City Commission.
Why
And
didn't it-
nowhere in that document are any of them referred to that.
There are references to board and committees, and now board and commission is used. So does that exclude committees?
No, it does not.
Okay. Well, just wanted clarification.
Item number 10.
Action item number 10, consideration and action to accept a grant 3-48-0031-048-2018 in the amount of $8 million from the Federal Aviation Administration for projects at the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. I'm Francisco Partida, the Special Projects Manager for the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport. I'm here with good news. We got more money from the FAA. We promised we were going to go after it. It's been a team effort. Every leader present here and at the Brownsville South Padre Island and city departments have helped to achieve this. This is from the supplemental bill of appropriations enacted into law back in July, I believe, is $1 billion. So Secretary Elaine Chao has awarded $8 million to the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport. It's the only airport in Texas to receive funds this year. Only 36 airports nationwide received funds.
Very good.
So
Thank you, the advisory board members that are here, appreciate it.
The advisory board
Thank you.
members.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for your service.
Yeah, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good job, guys.
Excellent work. Thank you.
Next, we have action item number 11, consideration and action to award a contract for the construction of a new passenger terminal, phase number 2 for the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport.
Again, I'm here hopefully with more good news. After months of coordinated efforts between airport staff, consultants, city departments, local and federal entities, and without a doubt, with your support and the support of the community, I would like to present to recommend the recommendation to award the construction contract for the new terminal building at the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport following procurement process. It has been determined that the responsive and responsible bidder for the project is Spa Glass Contractors, Inc. from Harlingen, Texas. The following items: item A, landside civil base bid for $5.4 million. Item E, terminal base bid, including some deducts, which is $38.5 million, for a total of $298,000. The completion time for this project shall be 730 consecutive calendar days after notice to proceed is issued. And we were awarded an extension for the bid items by the contractor until October 11th.
Very good.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Keep up the good work, guys,
Got
and
anywhere for it?
keep us informed of the progress, if you don't
Absolutely.
mind.
Thank you.
Anytime.
¿Te traes con el dinero?
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't run through the presentation, I guess.
Thank you,
Our
Francisco.
doors are open
That high of
anytime.
an amount of number of money, I get tongue twisted too.
Okay, thank you.
Action item number 12, consideration and action on task order number 2 for the construction administration services between Javiation Inc. and the City of Brownsville for the seal code of RWY 13-31 project in the amount of $43,829.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners. Here again at the airport, we're here probably an airport day today. This is actually the second component of what you guys awarded the consent agenda for the seal coat project. This task order number 2 is for Javiation Inc. out of Utah, and they're gonna, under this task order, they're supposed to do the construction administration and construction services for this project. It's in the amount of $43,829, and staff approves that.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we
Item
have
number
action
13.
item number 13, consideration action to request authorization to approve advertising and promotion services under current term contract for the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport with Miller Hollander Advertising Design Marketing.
Honorable Commission and Mayor, again, this is just a procedural thing. We do this every year. Millar Hollander has a contract until September 30th, 2019, and this is just to release the funds to them so they can continue to execute our strategic marketing plan and put our name out there and advertise the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport.
Motion to approve?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14.
Thank you.
Action item number 14, consideration action to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Brownsville and the Gladys Porter Zoo, whereby the City of Brownsville will contribute $208,810 for capital improvement project.
Mayor and Commissioners, apparently the airport stole my thunder. I thought this was going to be the best project on it, but apparently not. But I do want to say that the zoo, we've identified to be one of the biggest partners and one of the tourist attractions and one of the uniqueness that the valley does have. So we do have Pat back there in the background. $208,000, he said he can build the best project for the zoo, so I ask you to permission to approve this.
Motion to approve?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Vote to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Thank you all very much today.